Good morning, fabulous people. I hope you're having a fun day. Have you ever watched the news and wondered if you were getting the full story? Maybe the story didn't end where the news left it off, or maybe there's a bigger story behind it. Whether they're controlling the narrative to protect the people that they work for, or they're just derelicts and not very good at their job. I often think that there is a bigger story and that it doesn't end there. It goes deeper. And I think that that's true for a lot of people. In politics, especially. Like Governor Abbott. I always thought that there was a bigger story to why he was busing tens of thousands of illegal aliens around the country. And take this Katie Porter story. I don't think it's the real story. I think it's part of a much bigger story, a nefarious agenda by a political party that's really quite well known for its tactics. Let's look at her a little bit, shall we? This is SaveDaughters.com. SaveDaughters.com. It's interesting. Katie Porter, ethnicity. Ethnicity and religion. I always like to get a quick background. It's often important to look into who the parents are because they're often associated with certain agendas as well. And it's good to know what kind of religion, if they've been indoctrinated, especially with this liberation theology, because we've learned that it's a Catholic ideology that has gotten its toxic goo has just kind of seeped its way down into the denominations, right? So we have to see, most likely she's aligned with some sort of Christian denomination that is, stoking up this liberation theology that she appears to represent. Let's see.
What happened? My left head in
right
again.
Katie Porter is the U.S.
And then they shoot it all about. Did the hokey pokey and it turned and fell down.
Husband, Katie Porter, age. How many times do they say Katie Porter in this short paragraph? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 times. And how many sentences? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a long sentence. 5, 6 sentences. So they're using her name at least once in every sentence. I think they're going to know Katie Porter's name after reading that paragraph. Katie Porter's ethnicity and religion, ? It's like, yeah, can you just get to it? Oh, this is interesting. This blog also includes gay rumors and sexuality amidst LGBTQ support. Is Katie Porter Zionist or Jewish? Katie Porter religion and others. Let's see if they actually give any information here. Ethnicity describes a group's identity based on perceived cultural distinctiveness. Is that a different definition of what ethnicity used to be? See, growing up, ethnic or ethnicity and race, they weren't interchangeable. They had separate meanings. And now it seems like, I mean, we're rewriting definitions of words. We saw it with the word marriage. Now it looks like we're seeing it with ethnicity. And race, again, isn't even, there's one race. So when you use a nonsensical, made-up, meaningless word as part of your definition for another word, then that other word becomes nonsense too. In 2023, let's see here. SaveDaughters.com, you would think that this is an organization that wants to protect girls. I imagine from some form of abuse or all forms of abuse. So you would think with a name like SaveDaughters.com that these are maybe like conservative people, that they want to close down borders and make sure that we're carefully vetting people who are coming into the country so that they don't come over here and commit crimes against children, which we have seen an actual uptick in, correct? So when I see SaveDaughters.com, I think of like saving them from abuse and protecting them, and people who are going to put forth legislation to protect girls. But it's actually not the case here. It really doesn't even tell you what her ethnicity is. It does tell you that she's Episcopalian. It says mixed descent, which is odd. I mean, just say what ethnicity she is, right? In 2023, Catherine Moore Porter, an American politician, a law professor, and attorney, became the 47th Congressional District's representative from California. Prior to that, she served as the 45th Congressional District's representative from 2019 to 2023.
Blah, 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 blah.
Father's Dan Porter and her mother's Liz. Doesn't say mother's maiden name. Her mother was a founder of Fawn's and Porter's Love of Quilting. That sounds nice. Siblings are unknown. Net worth $1 to $2 million. Ex-husband is Matthew Hoffman. This is the man who she allegedly abused. Married young, divorced loud. And that was just dated October 9th, 2025. This is when it's all really coming to light on a national or international level. The fact that the title, though, she married young. That's why she's such a psycho. Okay. Pass. I married older, and I was still didn't do a very good job. And I had to be accountable for that. So, you make mistakes, you're accountable for it so that you don't repeat them. But this woman just appears to just continue this abuse,
if we don't,
as we saw in that video there, right?
Our transportation sector, that we're going to lose more than 500,000 Californians dying prematurely to air pollution and other problems, and the state could lose. Get out of my fucking shot!
Get out of her shot, man. This is her moment. This is her moment. Spotlight, man.
You also were in my shot before that.
Take any attention off of her.
Stay out of my shot.
All right, so
I'm going to start again with electric vehicles saving us money.
Receives Outdoors Alliance for Kids Award. That's great, right? Let's really look into these people who are pushing her, like SaveDaughters.com. I think that's what the story is. All these endorsements, I think these people should explain themselves, don't you think? Back in 2023, all these people started endorsing her. Why? What did they base that endorsement on? I mean, if you're like a really influential or important organization, like the Teamsters and these other ones here, wouldn't you make sure that you're vetting these politicians very, very well before you endorse them? I mean, you're going to look into them, right? it doesn't seem like you have to look too hard. It seems like this abusive nature is just right under the surface. And it seems like it even crosses the line sometimes where it's public. So I think they have some explaining to do, because it certainly looks like all they care about is their agenda. And it doesn't matter who represents that agenda, no matter how wicked or evil or abusive or psychotic or satanic the person may be. As long as they're pushing that agenda, you're going to endorse them. Like, isn't that the bigger story here? The true nature of these organizations and the people that run them and these endorsements. So we don't care if you're an abuser, as long as you will promote our ideology and put our best interest first. That's all that matters, right? And I think that we're seeing that with a lot of these democratic organizations. Housing for all. Washington must close the housing gap for low-income families. Create a select committee on housing. Urgently increase the supply of homes for purchase. California needs more homes to drive down prices. And Washington needs to step up to the plate. It's virtually impossible to develop starter homes profitably and at scale. Incredibly, there are no federal subsidies. Oh, that's the problem. Not that your corrupt government just let,
every year, the headlines get worse. California's on fire again. Hundreds of thousands of acres are gone. Towns are reduced to ash. Orange skies, closed highways, air you can't breathe. And every time we ask the same question, why does this keep happening?
In illegal aliens and giving them beds over citizens. Okay, let's not look at these failed policies that these Democrats keep using over and over again that are leading to all this suffering and devastation. No, we need more subsidies. Geez, all this time, you guys, all our nation needed was more money for the government to fix things. We're so silly. We could have fixed everything a long time ago. Katie Porter, she's so smart. And so are these other NGOs that support her. Let's see what else they have to say. Okay, Washington must close the housing gap for low-income families. Come on, Washington, D.C. and Trump, it's your fault people in California can't afford homes. It's your fault that they don't have water. Because cities like San Diego have mayors that won't let you collect rainwater. And they have to pump it in from Colorado. We were in school. Geniuses. Unleash private capital for home construction. Look at this. In the 1930s, Congress established government-sponsored enterprises, today known as Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and Ginnie Mae, to connect Wall Street capital to everyday Americans. How did that turn out? Yeah. Bunch of indoctrinated college kids with big loans. Okay, Teamsters California endorses Katie Porter for governor. She's governor of the state of California, which is got the highest revenue and is ranked #1 for what else? Child trafficking and illegal aliens. Now, redistrict. She won because of redistricting. Is that correct? Is that what I read there? Who's complaining about redistricting? Who's the census for? Census is a way to represent the American people, right? So why are illegal aliens included in the census? They're not American people. Illegal aliens are not American people. No American people are American citizens. Those are American people. It isn't. Our laws are not written for everybody who can sneak in. Okay? And our tax dollars are not for anybody who can sneak in. The census is for the American people. Only the American people should be on the census. Simple logic. But when you include all these illegal aliens like they do, all of a sudden the population like skyrockets and, oh my goodness, we need another district, we need to rezone, we need another politician to fix things for us. Okay, so take them out of the census, of course, and remove them from the district tally and redistrict properly according to the law. So they make these slots so they can fill them with these degenerates. These abusive, pro-trafficking, pro-treason, right? Anti-American politicians endorsed by people like the Sierra Club and Save Daughters and Teamsters California, right? International Brotherhood of Teamsters. That's an interesting logo. Seen that design before. Looks like a wagon wheel, right? It's not all it is, though. Healthcare Teamsters, American Red Cross workers. I think we know a little bit about them too, don't we? Well, these Teamsters are really, really, really big endorsers. Big time. Got all that support. So yeah, of course, obviously, she is not going to be pro-life. Let's see here. Democrats do not believe in the right to life. That is a God-given and constitutional right. It's a constitutional right because it's a God-given right. Because this nation was created by Christian-minded men and women. Released video obtained by Politico shows Katie Porter, who hopes to become California's next governor, intensely swearing at a staffer during a recorded meeting. Okay, and this was just released on the 8th of October in Politico. Now again, she is affiliated with the University of California, Irvine. She's been a visiting professor at Harvard Law School, UC Berkeley Law, University of Illinois, College of Law. Okay, so she's hitting all these corrupt institutions. Interesting. Wow. Katie Porter rejoins UC Irvine School of Law following her service from 2019 to 25, 3 terms as a U.S. rep. Karen Bass, who is just so creepy, like what was she doing overseas during the fires? And she wouldn't even talk about it to a news broadcaster who found her over there, right? It was just so creepy. She just ignored him. What was she doing? Is she redistricting? Part of their gentrification? I mean, I don't understand. Is it like reverse gentrification? What are they doing? They're taking land away from their own constituents, property away from their own constituents, so that they can build what? What are they going to build there? They're going to put up a smart city? They're going to put up encampments? Garda World going to come and build some encampments? What are they doing with that property? It's like out in Hawaii. What are they doing? You know? We should find out soon.
How would I need them
there was
in
an
order to
area
win?
in Michigan.
Well, unless you think you're going to get 60% of the vote. You think you'll get 60%. Everybody who did not vote for Trump will vote for you. That's what you're saying.
In a general election?
Yes.
We've also asked the other candidates, do you think you need any of those 40% of California voters to win? And you're saying, no, you don't.
No, I'm saying I'm going to try to win every vote I can. And what I'm saying to you is that...
Well, to those voters. Okay, so you...
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it. Okay. Thank you.
Problems, and the state could lose.
Emily's List endorses Katie Porter. Representative Dave Min endorses Katie Porter. National Union of Healthcare Workers endorses Katie Porter. Gubernatorial frontrunner picks up support from swing district Democrats. Okay. How's she going to survive this one? I mean, the fact that they haven't, nobody's, I don't think to this point has come forward and retracted their endorsement. It just, they don't care. Whatever it takes, man. They'll put a bush in. Are there any more bushes that they can put in anywhere? What happened to that? Where are those girls at? Do they have some girls or something like that? Do they have anybody else they can squeeze into this incredibly important political position? That's just totally nefarious. I can't wait to see who they come up with next, right? So many endorsements. Look at this one here. Endorsements by Katie Porter. What is this? Notable candidates endorsed by Katie Porter. Betty Martinez. Ayn, A-Y-N, Ayn Crazian. Like, what kind of name is that? Oh, look at this. Look who else she endorses. Kamala Harris. That's funny because, like, you know, Kamala's also running. So that's, wonder if Kamala endorses her. That would be cute. Yeah. Joe Kerr, Dave Min, Adam Schiff. John Quay Cordy. Jessica Cisneros. Mandela Barnes. Oh, and Elizabeth Warren. Look at that. That's cute. Pocahontas. She endorses Pocahontas and Kamala and Adam Schiff. California Proposition 16. Repeal Proposition 209, Affirmative Action Amendment. Who wants to bring back affirmative action? And again, action, affirmative action. Liberation theology. Hello. Affirmative action is liberation theology. She's all about it, right? So now we see all of their true nature here. They endorse each other and they endorse these policies that harm people. California Prop 16, the repeal Prop 209, Affirmative Action Amendment, was on the ballot in California as a legislatively referred constitutional amendment on November 3rd, 2020. Prop 16 was defeated. A yes vote supported this constitutional amendment to repeal Prop 209, which stated that the government and public institutions cannot discriminate against or grant preferential treatment to person on the basis of race, sex, color, ethnicity, or national origin in public employment, public education, and public contracting, because it's basically DEI, right? We're not going to look at your qualifications. We're not going to look at your character, how hard you worked and how qualified you have become. We're not going to look at your experience or where you stand in any of these matters. We're just going to look at, again, race. See what race you are. What race are you? Are you the white race or the black race? Are you the yellow race? Are you the red race? Sex. I think they mean gender. So I think that what they mean is ethnicity, gender, color. What color are you? Look at what color. If you're the right color, I'll give you the job. You look like you're too light brown. Here we go. Ethnicity. That's an actual word. Or national origin. So where are you from? You born in America? No. We're not giving grants to Americans. You got anything better? You got a Congolese? Got a Somalian? Is that a Somalian I see over there? Ooh, token Latino. Come here. Female? Even better. And you're trans. Can you be trans? Can you just pretend? Perfect. Let's go. Come on. That's what they want to bring back. This is why airplanes and helicopters and you're flying out of the sky for a while, right? The DEI agenda. We had that whistleblower, pilot, a woman who came forward. Okay. So they all endorse each other because of their policies. Affirmative action, all these retards want to bring that back. The following is a list of reactions to the defeat of Prop 16. Is she on here? I don't want to read it unless she's on here. A bunch of other retards, you can read it yourself here. This is interesting. Zhao, president of the Asian American Coalition for Education, said, going forward, I'd like to warn liberal politicians in California and nationwide, focus your efforts on devising effective measures to improve K-12 education for Black and Hispanic children instead of introducing racially divisive and discriminatory laws time and again. You have failed in California in 2014 as well as Washington State and New York City in 2019. What do discrimination and preferential treatment mean within the context of Proposition 209? In High Voltage Wire Works versus San Jose 2000, the California Supreme Court held that within the context of Prop 209, discrimination means to make distinctions in treatment, show partiality in favor or prejudice against, and preferential means given a priority or advantage to one person over another, okay? Do you really think it's fair to give somebody priority over another based on their hue? Or does it all depend on what hue you're favoring? Like, is it okay to base who receives a really important, influential position based on how dark they are? Like, the darker, the better? No. I think we should all be able to agree. Right? It's not the American way. Nope, not at all. So why support people that want to do that? I don't know, I guess some people actually do think that I should have less rights and less opportunities because I am light brown with medium brown spots. Do with your hands. These are people, these are politicians who want to be the governor of California. This person is mentally retarded. National Union of Healthcare Workers, terrifying, endorses Katie Porter. Why? Katie Porter gains endorsement from key California group, Emily's List. Why is Emily's List so important? I don't know. Elect Democratic women. Chip in to join the movement. As soon as you click on their page, their website, the first thing that pops up is donation. That's it. And you can see some of their faces because they have to get that recognition, right? They need so much attention. Elect Democratic Women endorses Katie Porter for governor of California. The EDW, the Congressional Member-Led Committee dedicated to electing Democratic women to Congress, announced its endorsement of Congresswoman Katie Porter for governor of California. So there you go. Now we know the true nature of the Democratic women in Congress. They don't care about anything but their agenda. It's all about their agenda. They don't care who gets hurt. And they probably think the more the better, right? And she says, I am honored to receive the support of elect Democratic women. As governor, my top priority will be to put California families first. Which families? The illegal alien families? The dark brown families? The non-light brown with medium brown spot families? It's so stupid. Bring down costs. Okay. Fighting cuts to critical healthcare services. Yeah, we're talking about a healthcare system that is completely retarded too, by the way. I mean, look at how they handled COVID. How many? Look at medical malpractice, just in general. What is it like? The top 5 killers of Americans is medical malpractice. These doctors and nurses, right, are killing people. Look at the response during COVID. Medical malpractice rates skyrocketed, but weren't counted because if somebody even tested positive for any kind of like common cold coronavirus, then it was a COVID death. So How can you possibly record medical malpractice? I mean, you would have to investigate every single death, find out, were they using respirators? Were they giving them the wrong kind of treatment? I mean, in a lot of cases, of course they were. You're locking somebody down inside an institution of insane concept of what healthcare is, not allowing them any kind of contact with loved ones for long periods of time. I mean, that can be lethal too. But I'm talking about just straight up medical malpractice, not so much the isolation. But they were treating this all wrong. They're making it so much worse, and they were, in fact, killing people. And now, after all that was exposed, you would think that we would like, oh my gosh, we need to rehaul our healthcare system, because it's not healthcare. It's like Jack Kevorkian style healthcare, And instead of doing that, no, they're doubling down. Let's give these people a raise. Let's not change. Let's not overhaul our healthcare system. Let's just give them more money, more subsidies, pay increases, because that is, in fact, what it turns out Katie Porter did, supporting policies that were giving these health care workers big raises. And this elect Democratic women, these people, who else did they endorse? Paige Cognetti, Afton Ben. I mean, who are these people? I'd have to look into each of these people. Are they even American born? Elect Democratic Women was formed in 2018 by Democratic members of Congress, and here's some of them here. Founding board, look at these women. We don't care. We'll take anybody as long as you're going to push forth our agenda to destroy the republic. We're going to transform, we're going to revolutionize this republic. We're going to turn it into a democracy, and then it's going to fall, just like Rome. Emily's List. Wow, okay, here we go again. October 6, 2023 is when they endorsed her. Former U.S. Rep. Katie Porter of Irvine, California received TEH endorsement. I think it's supposed to be the endorsement of Emily's List, a national organization dedicated to electing Democratic women who support abortion rights. That's their big agenda, is abortion rights? So eugenics? So Emily's List is about eugenics. Holy crap. So they were endorsing her back in 2023. Now again, this goes back to Prescott Bush, right? He helped Margaret Singer's cause big time. Why do they care so much about killing babies? It's so creepy. Like, how can that be your main agenda? The endorsement provides Porter with potential significant funding and grassroots support as she campaigns for the 26th California gubernatorial election. Endorsement announced October 23rd, 2023. That was so long ago. Jessica Mackler, president of Emily's List. At a time when President Trump and his allies are attacking Californians' health care. No. Illegal aliens are not Californians. No, Californian is an American citizen who lives in California. If you're going to make a claim like that, you need to back it up with some facts. And they haven't, so that's your first red flag. Yeah, most of the country doesn't want to pay for illegal aliens to have health care, because most of the country isn't being given health care. So why should they give a non-citizen health care? It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand these people. But they care more about abortion, Emily's List. So who are they? Who are they? At a time when Trump and blah blah is attacking them, Katie is the proven leader California needs. Emily's List was proud to be an early supporter of Katie in 2018 when she flipped a critical congressional district. Was that the new district? And now California has a chance to make history by helping us elect Katie as the state's first woman governor. It's the best you got? And you think she's better than Kamala. Yikes. Who's Jessica Mackler? She's the president. Champions of social justice. Yep, keep using your liberation theology. Just keep trying, because maybe eventually it'll work. That is the definition of insanity. These people they're insane. World champion of the people. They also endorse Karen McDonald for Michigan Attorney General. Oh, look, they offer training. What matters to women? Abortion. Oh, look, training resources for combating disinformation targeting women in leadership. And there's Kamala Harris right there. Why aren't they endorsing her for governor? Tactical definitions to know. Tactical? Technical definitions to know. Doxing, deep fakes, hashtag hijacking, bots, sock puppets. Okay, so these are their words. You know, if Emily's List, action, look at that, action. Liberation theology. These are trigger words. Okay, so they represent doxing, deepfakes, hashtag hijacking, bots, sock puppets. So that's all good to know. Trust, action. So, percent of U.S. adults using platforms, according to Pew Research. I got off Facebook. I'm trying to get people off Facebook. That is hard, man. People are addicted to Facebook, and they are supporting their own downfall and genocide by staying on these platforms. YouTube, I don't even know what to think about YouTube, because then it looks like, is that TikTok? Oh no, that's Instagram, I guess. I mean, anything that collects metadata is huge no-no. This data collection, these data centers are completely unsustainable, and they're going to decimate our habitats. And I can't even imagine what process they're going to use to generate the amount of energy that they need. Bring in, you know, and improve, master this beast system. It's just also crazy. Women of color more likely to say they experience harassment because of their race or identity. Let's Black, Hispanic targets of online harassment more likely than their white counterparts to say they've been harassed online because of their race, ethnicity. Okay, there is only one race. Anyway, women of color more likely to say they experience harassment because of their race or identity. Yeah, I think we are all very well aware of that fact. Goodness gracious. That's funny. NGOs, right? Black women lead. Why are they so racist? Why? Black doesn't even mean anything anymore. It really doesn't. Because now it includes Indian. You know, prior to that, it included Muslims. They started including Muslims into black. I mean, this is like, African Americans don't understand that this is like a form of ethnic cleansing. Like, black used to mean African American or West Indian, and which were basically like the same. The West Indies broke off of, you know, what became Africa, right? When it was all one continent, right? I'm sure they originated from, you know, the Fertile Crescent, and the Ham's and lineage traveled downward, right? So it used to just mean African American or West Indian. It never should have been used to begin with, to be honest with you, because now it includes, and they started incorporating Muslims, which an African American and say like a Pakistani, like, and even within Africa, you have like so many different regions, right? Because you have like Morocco, and you have people who are lighter skinned, a lighter brown, and then you have the darker. So African really used to mean that region. And now it can include India. Well, it's going to include Pakistan. Might as well include India, right? absolutely retarded. They're ruining they're erasing your history, essentially. They've already changed a lot of the truth with American history. African American History Month is gone. They replaced it with Black History Month and included people who aren't even African, right? They're including Kamala Harris. They're including Indians in that now. Bye-bye, African History Month. Don't need you anymore. Got Black History Month now. Once you know your enemies, map their presence online. So they're training you how to stalk people. Emily's List. And then what to do.
Okay, listen to this. Teams need both proactive and reactive strategies to combat disinformation. Do not wait to map out your online turf. Identify who is likely to attack your principal candidate. Consider who might attack her based on her identity and race. Remember, there's only one race. Her political opponents, special interest groups opposed to her. Okay, so they want you to have a militant mindset. They're dictating your mindset here. Okay, they want you to go immediately into the aggressive position. Look at this. Once you know your enemies, map their presence online.
So these are the people who are training. These are like the feminists, the feminist NGO that's training these psycho-feminists, because radical feminism and witchcraft are part of the left's agenda to corrupt Americans, to help erode away at our republic, our Republican values, our Republican form of government and way of life that we're guaranteed. And on the right, I think they're using Catholicism to do it. Truth sandwich method. Yeah. So you start by stating the truth. And then you implicate the liar and the lie, and then you state the truth again. This is a reactive approach, right? Threat matrix for response. Likelihood of disinformation reaching voters. That's the reach. And the impact? Likelihood disinformation will cause harm. What? High. Change the subject. Request platform action. Issue a press statement. Hold an earned media event. Highlight the motive of the messenger. Provide heads up to targeted communities. Run a paid ad campaign. Deploy trusted messengers with talking points. Monitor for topic momentum. Consider emergency litigation. Report to law enforcement federal agencies. Okay, so these are the NGOs that are the real underlying problem. These congresswomen are the threat. This is their training. So all these radical women, all these Karens, etc., they're being trained by Congress. And this NGO, we're going to have to look to see they're probably getting government funding. That would be a conflict of interest. An NGO run by politicians getting public funding. I don't see how any of this is even lawful. Make them stand on your stage. Bad actors want you to stand on their stage and use their talking points. Put them on defense by putting your talking points into the conversation. And this is what we see them do. They're just, you know. Women like Vice President Harris are, insert positive traits about women in power. Women like Vice President. Let me think on this. Let me think. I'm sure I can think of something. Let's think. Think. Are women like Vice President Harris are... Shoot, I got nothing. Got nothing positive to say about her. Oh my gosh. Give me a minute. Anyway, I'll have to come back to that. Women are attacked twice as much, so we'll be twice as loud. That's their reasoning. Just get in their faces, go full DEFCON Karen. So we're going to get attacked twice as much. So let's be twice as loud. Don't you think that that'll just make you get attacked more? This is Marxist analysis. This is Marxist mentality. This is Common Core politics. They say, she's a liar. She hasn't done anything for her constituents. Responding to sexist character attacks based in disinformation in person. It's sexist? Calling somebody a liar and saying that she's done nothing for her constituents is sexist? See how they're training people? This is like why you see these Muslim extremist women who get pulled over, or, you know, the cops are called to the scene for whatever reason, and they're like, they're Islamophobic! They're Islamophobic! And it's like, well, ma'am, you were ramming him with your shopping cart over and over again, but he's Islamophobic, don't let him get away with it. You know, it's their logic. Oh, here's another one. Responding to sexist character attacks based in disinformation in a press release. This is like hardcore training. This is Democrat Politics 101. Platform policies. Goes to talk about Facebook and Instagram so you don't get banned, I guess. Know their policies. Nationwide landscape polls, which really show most people agree on the issues. The only variation you'll see, it says black men, black women, but again, we don't know what that means when they say black. It's a complete nonsense term now. We don't know if they're talking about African Americans, Muslims, and I'm even wondering, because it says here we only have women, men, black women, Hispanic. What is AAPI women? I don't even know what that means. But really the only deviations you'll see is with, periodically, is with black women and black men. But everybody else, and for the most part, everybody in general, agrees on the same topics. And the variations are in regards to, let me hold on a second. Sorry. Okay, so here's just an example. How would you rate the job Donald Trump is doing handling the economy? And this is from like excellent to poor and don't know. Board of directors. I don't know any of these names. It's obviously all women, right? These are all congresswomen. Oh, here we go. Ellen served as Emily List's president for 25 years. Ellen Malcolm is a veteran Democratic activist and fundraiser who began her career as an organizer at Common Cause and later served as press secretary for the National Women's Political Caucus. In 1980, Ellen went to work at the White House as the press secretary for President Jimmy Carter's special assistant for consumer affairs. After leaving the White House, Ellen earned a master's in business administration from George Washington University. Like Hillary Clinton and Nancy Pelosi, Ellen is a recipient of Planned Parenthood Federation of America's Margaret Sanger Award. These are eugenics queens. African Americans. Oh, stop supporting eugenics queens and kings, please. Republicans, look into these people, because the Bushes, they were huge in eugenics. Sound like a cow. The organization's highest honor, which is presented annually to recognize leadership, excellence, and outstanding contributions to the murder of little human beings. To the reproductive health and rights movement. Ellen has been named one of the most influential women in America by Vanity Fair, one of Glamour magazine's Women of the Year, one of Ladies' Home Journal's 100 Most Important Women in America. So all these names that you're seeing, Vanity Fair, Glamour, Ladies Home Journal, stop buying these. Stop supporting these. Time Magazine even. I'm not surprised. In 2014, Ellen was inducted into the Hall of Fame of the American Association of Political Consultants. In 2003, Ellen helped create America Coming Together, ACT, a nationwide organization dedicated to empowering and mobilizing voters. Big red flag with that NGO. Ellen served as ACT's president in 2003 and 2004, helping to raise over $145 million for a sophisticated and personal voter contact effort in key states. There you go. That's why she's influential. We got to look into who is funding her. She was also instrumental in the creation of America Votes, a coalition of progressive groups, including Emily's List, that worked together to register, educate, and mobilize voters. Hillary Clinton, whose historic 2008 campaign for president, Ellen co-chaired. Oh, wow. So, Emily's List, child trafficking. That's what I'm thinking, right? Probably the most influential fundraiser and advisor we've seen. I don't know anybody who can match her track record. She is the author of When Women Win, Emily's List, and the Rise of Women in American Politics. You know? Yeah, I mean, congratulations, Ellen, and the tremendous work you've done to destabilize America and destroy the Republic. Oh, we know some of these faces. Yes, we do. Okay. Right? Yep. Here we go. I wanna pretend I'm an Indian and get free college education. That's what I wanna do. Okay, Hathaway and Caldwell. We know those names, don't we? Careful where you're putting your money. You might be supporting eugenics and the overthrow of your own government, stabilization of your economy, your whole way of life. Kiss it all goodbye. NUHW endorses Katie Porter, National Union of Healthcare Workers. Yep, we know. Now, do you want to know why they endorse her? IBEW 569 endorses Katie Porter for U.S. Senate. This is for immediate release back in July 17th, 2023. When did NUHW announce their support? October 9th, 2023. Are you seeing a theme? Back in October of 2023, now this IBEW, one of the first ones, because this was back in July. Katie Porter's a champion for workers, said Jeremy Abrams. We're proud to endorse Katie as the warrior California needs in the U.S. Senate to fight the battles of tomorrow. The Tomorrow Wars, starring Antifa. George Soros was in the shadows, the puppet master, along with the Clintons and the Ellens of the world, right? October 13th, 2023, more than 85,000 Kaiser Permanente healthcare workers win. We have an agreement at Kaiser, SEIW, UHW, Kaiser Permanente workers win big wage. And, oh, yeah, look at that. Look at these healthcare workers. They did such a terrible job in COVID. Let's give them all a raise. So I'm wondering if Katie Porter helped these people get more money that they did not earn, because right after all this is when we were starting to see, either right before or right after is where we're seeing all the endorsement, right? So there's this huge healthcare workers win, they get tons of money, and this is during Biden presidency, after a terrible response for a pandemic, a response that led to the death, the unnecessary death of many elderly and other individuals around the nation after a poor response to the pandemic. Katie Porter and these other politicians helped a failed and disgraced healthcare system of workers get a raise. And then, of course, they all endorsed her. So yeah, they have a lot of explaining to do for many reasons. Rep. Katie Porter joins the picket line during ongoing protests about WGA strike at Culver Studios in LA. Yeah, because that's important. Katie Porter's Senate bid endorsed by the statewide American Federation of Television and Radio Artists. Okay, so do you see? In May, she joins the picket line for American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, SAG-AFTRA, and then within a few months, she gets their endorsement. Katie Porter's Senate bid endorsed by Statewide Communications Workers of America, CWA Union. You see, this is what they do. This is what they do. They don't care. Just whatever it takes. Liberal OC. Statewide law enforcement. September 12th, 2025. On these 2 days, we held 2.5-hour classes for our members who want to know more. Okay, labor unions make our community safer. National Agreement 2023. Look at this symbol. The symbol looks familiar. Patient and member focus. Coalition of Kaiser Permanente Unions. Coalition National Agreement. After the largest healthcare worker strike in U.S. history, we secured a landmark agreement that provides a framework for long-term solutions to the short staffing crisis. It's not that we don't have a staffing crisis. We have a crisis in regards to the Biden administration and others before him working in these, sponsoring these biolabs that create new and deadly viruses that they unleash on the world. That's more of a crisis. Because if we weren't in the business of killing people and making people sick and making people suffer so much, intentional suffering, we wouldn't need so much crisis staff, would we? No, if we really were in the business of healthcare instead of sick care, we wouldn't have any kind of staffing crisis. Why do you think the nurses were all able to go out into the hallway and make music videos all day long for weeks? You know, give me a break. These people are so retarded. Katie Porter blames billionaires. Campaign lies. Well, she's an expert on campaign lies. And pushing the blame. That's what I take out of that. That was in March 6, 2024. She had to concede and she blamed the billionaires, even though they backed her. That's your Marxist mentality. Marxist analysis. Dr. and Sister Congresswoman Katie Porter on flattening the curve. Remember that crap about flattening the curve? Do you know how you flatten the curve? Okay, let me tell you about natural immunity. Okay. Herd immunity. It's a natural phenomenon. It occurs when the less effective members of the community are exposed to a virus. So in the case of COVID, it would be like the younger people, children. In public schools, what they will do is you want them to be exposed to it. So it's like business as usual. They develop immunity, and more people who aren't at risk develop immunity. So you will have like maybe 60-70% of the community has been exposed, and some people have been sick, you know, gotten actual like really bad, nasty flu symptoms, maybe even had to go to the hospital, you know, maybe. Most people did not. The vast majority of people were fine. It was just a common cold type of situation, but kids were really not affected. So you want all of those people to be out, business as normal, spreading it, because as you are getting contact to it and beating it, so that's, you're creating immunity. Now you have immunity to this disease. And if enough people are exposed, then you get what is called as herd immunity. And that protects those who are vulnerable. So you create herd immunity by exposing those who are not vulnerable or at risk of serious illness or complications. So when you're doing what they're doing here, flattening the curve by social distancing and not spreading it, that actually causes more death because you are deterring natural herd immunity that protects those at risk. So these people lied to the public. They forced this retarded system on us all that actually caused more death and more suffering. And her sister was a big contributor to this. Look at her. She was probably giving vaccines out too. Man, I'm curious as to who their parents are. It's time we have their back. Progressive lawmakers voice solidarity with striking Kaiser workers. If Kaiser can afford to pay its CEO over $15.4 million, it can afford to treat all its workers with respect, said Senator Bernie Sanders. Do you wonder why the CEO is making $15.4 million? What's the bigger story there, huh? Rockefeller sick care? Cutting back the cost of pharmaceuticals is great. Trump just did that. Good for him, man. Yeah, why are we paying more for something that's made in our country anyway? Like other countries pay far less for the products that are produced in America by these big pharma. Like we're paying more for the same drugs. I mean, that's like Marxist math right there too. That's liberation theology right there in a nutshell. Socialized healthcare. Obama's socialized healthcare, globalist socialized healthcare. Come on. By lowering drug prices, yeah, I mean, that is a big help, but why are so many people on drugs? Because there's no healthcare. Healthcare is proactive, it's holistic, it's not just about treatment. It's promoting a certain lifestyle. It's very proactive. We have sick care, we have a reactive system. So they are promoting all this garbage. This broken Rockefeller socialist medicine. Got to be able to see through this crap. I don't think people can anymore. That's the bigger picture. Yeah, she sucks. Absolutely. And who are they going to put forward next? What you got next, Democrats? Who's next? Who you got next, huh? Who's going to blow smoke up our butts next, huh? That's the bigger story here. Democratic congresswomen. That's the bigger story here. The Teamsters, the unions, healthcare workers. That's the bigger story here. They have a lot of explaining to do. Not just Katie Porter. All of them. That's not going to be the end of it. We're going to see more. We're going to see more about her. And we're going to see a lot more about these other women, too, who are behind the scenes in the shadow government. Because I'm going to dig deep into all of them. And where their funding comes from. Like I said, it all comes down to the NGOs. And not just the people who are running the NGOs, but the governors of the states that these NGOs are operating in. All right. Have a great day. I'll see you soon. Love you. God bless. Bye.